Before we get into today's mock draft, I want to thank sportsmemorabilia.com for sponsoring the video. They currently got a great deal happening, and if you want to get some dope memorabilia and support the channel, use the link in the description below. Right now, they got up to 65% off on certain items. That ends in the next 11 hours, so chop chop. But they got all kinds of cool stuff. They got World Series stuff. They got, look, Zion Williamson. Look at that, looking fresh. Looking fresh. They got his jersey over here. Baseball. But if you want to get that nice football merch, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what they got going on. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady. They probably don't have the 600 TD ball, but is what it is. You could even search your favorite teams. Like I'm a Dolphins fan, so I go to the Dolphins. Look, these are dope helmets, first of all, but then they got Ricky Williams with a very interesting signature there. Jalen Waddle. So they got all kinds of cool stuff. So if you want to support the channel, support me while you're at it, then go ahead, use that link. Get some cool stuff that you could add to your background, your man cave, whatever it is. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. As always, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. We're doing a mock draft today. One round, because we're going to get crazy next week. We're going to do a 7-round mock draft. So you're going to see a lot of guys that I like in this class. But I guess let's go ahead and do the gosh darn diggity thing. We're doing it on the Draft Network, so I'm taking their draft order. So if you got a problem with the draft order, take it up with the Draft Network, man. I'm just doing it because it's the prettiest looking mock draft simulator. Let's go ahead and get into it. First pick being the Detroit Lions. Is there really anything to say about this? Do we consider a quarterback here? I don't think yet. I'm sure obviously a lot will change before the draft, but let's just take the top overall prospect being Kayvon Thibodeau, since, you know, quarterback class is kind of sus. Then we got the Philadelphia Eagles. Things got a little harder here, but I went with Derek Stingley. I mean, we'll find out more when it comes to the foot injury. I don't think it's anything serious. No word on it being serious. Just sounds like he's going to take the rest of the year just to get healthy and then prepare for the off-season draft process. Eagles, they could definitely use some help from the secondary. Steven Nelson's on a 1-year deal. You could make a case for Kyle Hamilton with this pick, but I ended up going with a shutdown corner. Just corners, they impact the game a lot more, and you want to have a nice bevy of depth there. I know they brought in guys like Zach McPherson. They got Tay Gowan, but still, just keep adding talent until you get the position right. We got the Houston Texans. I went with Aiden Hutchinson. Another spot where you could consider quarterback. Is any of it worth it? Like Malik Willis has interest in upside. Sam Howell has interest in upside. Matt Corral's just been a slinger this season. But again, you worry about his size. He would be considerably smaller than a lot of the guys we've seen in drafts past. So if you're not in love with anybody, just take the next highest prospect off your board. Aiden Hutchinson, monumental rise. He's shed some weight this season. He looks twitchy. He looks bendy. That's what you kind of want to see. We already know this dude's powerful, strong hands. He could set the edge, but now he could bend the edge. He could win with just sheer power. He's got a bevy of great moves. He's a very good prospect. New York Jets, I think this is time where Kyle Hamilton comes off the board. I was thinking, man, it'd be really nice to get another corner. But is Kyer Elam, would you consider him a top 5 prospect? I honestly think Trent McDuffie's a better fit. It was tough. I just went with, we know Kyle Hamilton, dude's a blue chip prospect. The guy provides a lot of versatility. Marcus May might not be back with the team. He's on the franchise tag. So I just wanted to be sure I got good value here. So I went with that. Just because there's a lot of good corners in this class. And since we do have another first-round pick that actually comes up fairly soon, then we can make some decisions there. Evan Neal going to the Jags. Protect your franchise quarterback. Cam Robinson probably gone after the year. Jawan Taylor's actually not playing bad football. He's like all right. Nothing special, though. Walker Little has hardly seen the field. But, yeah, let's just grab Evan Neal. He's kind of good. He could play either side. And then this is the Eagles pick, man. This one was tough. because like we went with Stanley, and I was not gonna lie to you, I was kind of hoping Hamilton might fall here to the 6th pick. That didn't happen, so I'm gonna go with DeMarvin Leal. Man, I'm a big fan of DeMarvin Leal, a guy that can play inside, he can play outside, very twitchy, great movement skills for a guy that's 290. And we've seen teams there. They don't mind putting these guys on the outside the tackle anymore in today's game, as long as, well, you can bend that corner and you're just super like flexible, man, bendy. And he is, man, he is. This is a guy that a lot of people are going to evaluate strictly as an edge prospect, just because that's where the larger amount of tape has come. But definitely a guy that needs to develop his game on the inside. But he has he has the tools, the skill set, the characteristics of a very dominant interior player as well. So we just went with that. He's easily one of my favorite prospects in this class. The New York Giants, I went with Ikem Ekwonu. This is one of my favorite prospects this season. This guy's been so good in pass protection, which was the biggest question mark. A lot of people thought of him as only a guard-only prospect, that he's currently playing tackle, but he's going to be a guard in the NFL. That's kind of irrelevant. Like, it looks like he's good enough to play tackle, so I say give him a shot at tackle. If it doesn't work out, then you got a guard. It's a good thing that the Giants might have might have the worst offensive line in football. And this is a guy with tremendous physical upside. He's going to find himself as a top 10 pick. For me, it's almost like no doubt about it. Like, this guy's been impressive. He's going to test out real well. And then here comes the Jets pick. I had to make a decision. Trent McDuffie, Kyrie Elam, those were the two guys that I think are good fits for the Jets. And I got Elam higher on my board, so I went with Kyrie Elam. Mainly, you look at him like he's maybe a cover 1, cover 3 corner, which is kind of fine. Like Salah, he runs a variety of different coverages there. Mainly, though, we see a lot of cover 2 and quarters, but I don't think that'll Elam, I think, is a guy that can really play in any scheme with his tool set, his length, his I wouldn't say he's got elite athleticism, but it's solid. This guy mirrors real well, stays in the hip pocket of guys, and he's just got ball skills. Good prospect. Now I'm pulling the trigger on quarterback because Washington got the next pick and we got to do something, right? So I went with Malik Willis. Maybe they bring back Ryan Fitzmagic for another year, because I don't think Willis is going to be a guy you could start right out the gates. I would definitely say you would probably put him in that Trey Lance type of tier, where it's like, I really don't want to be starting him year 1. So yeah, but just the thing is, the dude's just got the highest ceiling of any of the other quarterbacks in this class. And he's made tremendous strides this season to, well, improve that stock. The Miami Dolphins, man. Hear me out, Dolphins fans. See my dog Akilah. She doesn't like where I'm going here, but I like it. I'm going with Garrett Wilson at 10. We need more playmakers. Devontae Parker, nah. Preston Williams, Will Fuller, he's gone after the season. You really just have Jalen Waddle. Garrett Wilson is a guy that, great technician. He could attack the field at all levels. He's got a little after the catch ability. I think he would be good for Tua. And again, a lot of this is in the air. What's happening with Deshaun Watson? I don't know. We'll find out. Apparently, there's a deal done, but I guess we'll find out. Regardless, they need more playmakers. Even if it's Deshaun back there, Dolphins probably don't have this pick if that's the case. But Garrett Wilson helps out. I know some people will be like, the offensive line needs some help. And it's like, they need some veteran leadership. They need some veteran just presence in general. There's a bunch of these guys, they're developing still. They're 2 to 1 year players. We won't find out what they are for another year, 2 years. We won't really get a good inkling of, okay, can these guys be legit NFL starters? So, and unfortunately, Tua has been punished because of that. Though Tua's playing some good football recently. We'll say that. New England Patriots, Ahmad Ghana. I could have went with a receiver here, but Garrett Wilson's kind of the receiver I really like going with for the Patriots. So I just decided, let's go with it. J.C. Jackson, he's likely going to be back. They already got rid of Gilmore. They do have Jonathan Jones, right, in the slot. And then they have Jalen Mills playing on the outside, but he's a bit versatile. You could do a lot of different things with him. So grab Ahmad Gardner to play that other corner spot. I like it. I think he's a really good scheme fit for the defense, too. Matt Corral going to the Broncos. Steady Teddy ain't so steady. Offenses just don't look ready. What terrible rhyming. But I really like the idea of bringing a gunslinger, a guy that likes to sling the football around in Matt Corral. Hey, dude, doesn't mean y'all are out on Drew Lock, man. Give Drew Lock maybe still a chance, but at some point you gotta bring in good competition. You just gotta improve the quarterback position at some point. So either Drew Lock steps his game up or Matt Corral's the guy. Hopefully one of those two. But I like Matt Corral. For a lot of people, he's either their 1 or 2 quarterback in this class. You could even say 3, because I definitely would throw Sam Howell into the mix here still. Some people either love him or hate him. I think he's been very good throughout his career at North Carolina, and that's kind of why I took him here with this next pick at Philly. Listen, y'all got 3 first-round picks. What the heck am I supposed to do with 3 first-round picks? If this was me, I'd be trading into 2023. I don't mind giving Jalen Hurts another year behind that or in that offense. But since I'm not doing trades, I have to make a pick. Ain't that right, Gojo? He says that's right. So why not improve the quarterback position? Y'all ain't winning games. You can blame your defense, but guess what? Your offense, they're not able to keep tabs either. They get down early in games because they're stagnant. They just are. So get some competition. What? Best case scenario, you got 2 really good quarterbacks on the roster. Now you could pitch one in a trade and get some good value. That is literally the worst case scenario. Or best case scenario, I should say. Worst case is they're both busts. But Sam Howell's got a big arm, pretty deep ball. He's done a much better job of going through his motions. I would say the offense that currently the Eagles are running, while not very inspiring, it's very similar to what Sam Howell's running there in North Carolina with Mac Brown. Not a lot's different in that. But yeah, I like this pick. The more I think about it, you kind of just let the quarterback class fall to you. And I really think between Howell, Corral, and Willis, those are probably the top 3 guys in here, and you could kind of shuffle it up. For me, like Carson Strong, Tanner McKee are on the outside looking in. And then you got Kenny Pickett, who's maybe the more safe option for a lot of people, but I just don't think he doesn't got elite arm talent, and he doesn't have the laser precision or accuracy, more so ball placement of a guy like a Mac Jones, Tua Tagovailoa, Joe Burrow. So that's the kind of difference I see in a guy like Pickett compared to those other guys who ended up being first-round talents. And then I went with Charles Cross to the Carolina Panthers. Let's get a guy to play left tackle and play it well. This guy's got tremendous upside, and he's playing balls to the wall this year. He's taking that next step in development. Carolina, you get a guy. You get a really good guy here. And then New York Giants, let's go Tyler Linderbaum, dude. Just keep improving the line. So you can move. The beautiful thing about having Nick Gates is he's played like right guard, right tackle. I don't know if he played left guard at all. But regardless, he's got a lot of versatility. So you can bring in Linderbaum. You can move Gates to right guard. You got to have Shane Lemieux and Will Hernandez duke it out for left guard, and then play a Chem at right or left or whatever you want to do with Andrew Thomas. Probably keep Thomas at left. He's been playing pretty good this year until he got hurt. So you got a Chem at right. So worst case scenario, a Chem comes back. They move him to left guard, and you bring in Matt Pert, who really I wish would be given more of a shot. So it just gives you a lot more options. And then Kansas City. Listen, Y'all need defense? I went with one of my favorite edge rushers in this class, Kingsley Enagbare. This guy's powerful, violent. He's not the I would say an above average athlete. He's not an elite athlete compared to guys like a Kayvon Thibodeau, maybe like a Drake Jackson or such. But his production speaks for himself. Like, he's a bit unpolished. I think he looks much better this year. You see definitely the development. And he's just been dominant. If we weren't talking about Aiden Hutchinson having a hot year, it'd be Kingsley Enagbare. I don't know why more people aren't high on him. I say this every time I mention him. But getting Kansas City some legit pass rush would help that secondary out a lot. A lot. You might be like, well, you need a corner. Maybe we need a safety. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't mind the whole safety. Like, yeah, throw a third guy. The Chiefs like to run a lot of 3 safety sets. But you got Snead. I've seen good play from Ward and Fenton before. Like, if you want to add a corner, we could do it later in the draft. You could do it through free agency. Like, let's help this pass rush. This pass rush needs a lot of help. Speaking of Drake Jackson, I got him going to Atlanta. Could have went corner here. Andrew Booth was definitely on my mind because I just think he's a good fit. And I don't mind taking Trent McDuffie because I got McDuffie higher than Booth. So I think you'd really have to ask the question, is Booth a better fit? Seems like it, but McDuffie's definitely a better prospect. So I went with Drake Jackson. This pass rush has been abysmal for the Falcons. So we help it out with a guy with insane athleticism and movement skills. Pittsburgh Steelers, there wasn't a quarterback I wanted to go here, so I went Kenyon Green. Come in, play right tackle immediately if you want him to, or he could play right guard. He's got that type of flexibility. His best games have been a tackle this year, but we know he played great at left guard in 2020. So it just gives you a little bit more flexibility of what you can do. Dan Moore, hey, he's been looking all right. It looks like he could have a future in the NFL as a starter. What a pickup. But I only say that just because I was really low on him after the Senior Bowl. And I was like, man, he went in like the 4th round. That's wild. And he's playing a good year, man. I ain't gonna hate. Egg on my face for now. We'll see how that career goes. At 19, you gotta go corner. I went Andrew Booth. I think he's just a better fit than McDuffie. Maybe, might be. I don't know. This one's kind of tough. Now that I think about it, maybe I should have went McDuffie. I don't know. Regardless, Vikings, I think they go corner. Mike Zimmer loves drafting first-round corners. It's just kind of Russian roulette if they hit or not. The Cleveland Browns. This is an interesting pick. Could have went edge. Could have went Jordan Davis. That was kind of a sexy pick. But I just got Chris Olave higher than my next edge, and I got him higher than Jordan Davis. I think they probably they trade OBJ, and Chris Olave is a guy that he's just got legit burners. He's a technician, very smooth route runner. Like, he could do a lot. He could do a lot for that offense if they want him to. And maybe they won't be scared to let Baker sling the ball a little bit more. Buffalo Bills, I almost went Jordan Davis here because I think they need that big boy in the middle. But I think they're kind of fine. You could probably find another guy. Like, Starr's been okay, but Justin Zimmer's a good rotation guy in there. He's been pretty good this year. And then obviously Ed Oliver's your star. So you could bring in another guy maybe later in the draft. Really, if you're just drafting Davis because we need to stop the run, then don't do it. You could get a solid run defender in the 3rd round or lower. First 2 rounds, don't be drafting guys because they're good run defenders in a passing league. I went with Trent McDuffie. I got a solid cornerback too. He's actually a really good fit here for Buffalo's scheme. And then the LA Chargers, I went with Jordan Davis because at some point Linval Joseph will move on. So let's get that nice meaty nose tackle. Jordan Davis, he has shown that pass rush and upside this season. While I don't think it's like top tier, it's still good enough. I start to feel better about drafting him probably after about pick 15, pick 17. I start feeling good about, let's go ahead with the defensive interior that has a little bit of this pass rush and upside. He's very imposing. Worst case scenario, he's going to be a very good run stuff and nose tackle. So we got him here for the Chargers. New Orleans Saints, wouldn't mind Chris Olave. He's off the board, so I went with Treylon Burks. He's been a real deep deep field target, deep ball target. He's shown he'll go up and get the ball. I mean, at his size, he should. It was a little rough at the beginning of the year, but he's really, like at that Ole Miss game where he was really finding and succeeding at the catch point. Got some good speed for what? He's like 6'3", 6'4", but he's like 220 to 230. Just wild. Great size. Dallas Cowboys, I ended up going with safety since all their safeties are free agents at the end of the year. And Jordan Battle, dude, people need to put more respect on this cat's name. This guy's playing great football for Alabama right now. He could do a little bit of everything, and he'd just be a good fit for the Dallas Cowboys. And, hey, you know what? Last time they drafted a guy out of the Alabama secondary, it kind of worked out. Tennessee Titans, I ended up going linebacker here. I went with Devin Lloyd. They still run a lot of zone when it comes to their linebacking core. Devin Lloyd, he's got the length to really clog up passing lanes. He's a very good blitzer. He's very good at just rushing by himself off the edge. He's going to be a good run stuffer. Like he really adds to that. You know, you got David Long there starting next to him. Monty Rice kind of in the mix. Just because I assume Jayon Brown's going to be a free agent after the year, and they're probably Rashad Evans probably bye-bye. Nicholas Petit-Frere going to the Cincinnati Bengals. Beautiful thing about Petit-Frere is he's a cat that can play both sides. He was pretty solid at right tackle 2020, and then this year moved over to left. He's looked pretty darn good. And that might be the position he's most comfortable in. Good thing about Jonah Williams, he's another guy that's kind of interchangeable on both sides. So we grabbed another tackle since Riley Reef on a one-year deal. Don't know if he'll be back. Tampa Bay Buccaneers went with best player on the board, and it was George Karlaftis, man. It's going to be strange how this edge class just pans out, who gets drafted, who falls. And Karlaftis ended up falling, so I was like, yeah, I'll take him here. JPP. He's been a little beat up this year, so he's not nearly been as productive as he normally is. But still, I don't mind looking to the future and be like, oh, they got Joe Tryon. Well, yeah, Karlaftis is also a guy you could kick to the interior where they like to put Will Golston. I think that you could put Karlaftis in that role as well. Detroit Lions didn't go quarterback. I'm just going to say that. I went with linebacker, Nakobe Dean. They really need some help at linebacker. They got rid of Jamie Collins. They really have Alonzo. How do you say it? Is that Alex Alonzo? I don't know. I'm gonna butcher his name. Former Saints linebacker. How's that? And he's been okay. But let's grab some dude with incredible athleticism, great upside, a guy that's very nimble between the tackles. He's shown he can blitz. He's a sure tackler. Like, for me, David Long and Nakobe Dean are kind of the top linebackers in this class. They just have very different skill sets depending on how you want to utilize them. Las Vegas Raiders, we're going to go with the offensive line. Darian Kennard, a guy that could come in, play right tackle if you want to move Alex Leatherwood to guard, or he could play guard if you want to move Alex Leatherwood to guard. I don't know, maybe you put him at left guard, you put Kennard at right guard, because Incognito, what he's up there in dog years, right? I don't know, it just gives you a lot of versatility. Kennard's he's had great production at playing right tackle for Kentucky. Probably a guard in the NFL, but still, I don't mind giving him a shot on the outside. And yeah, it just allows you to do some creative stuff with Leatherwood then. Not real creative, just move him to the interior so he doesn't get beat. Green Bay Packers, y'all already know. Drake London's on the board. He's going to the Packers. I just really like the fit. I don't think Devontae comes back, so we grab his central replacement. Big shoes to fill, but I think Drake London, give him a couple years, maybe he can fill one of those shoes. 31, Ravens. I kind of struggled here, right? I was like, corner, let's grab more corner depth. More corner depth would be nice. At this point, your three names probably come to mind: Roger McCreary, Darion Kendrick, and Martin Emerson. With Roger McCreary probably the best scheme fit, which Kendrick might be a better scheme fit, but Kendrick also has some character woes he's gonna have to answer for at the combine during the interviews. So I just went with a guy that I think belongs in the first round. He's just very scheme dependent, and I think this could be a good scheme for him, man. Nick Benito. They got Tyus Bowser kind of serving a similar role. Benito's just a lot more finesse, man. So he's a guy that could get after the passer. So I just added depth there. Some people will like it, some people will hate it, but you can't deny he's a good player. And I just want to draft good players on my squad. What can I say? Arizona Cardinals, I ended up going with Adam Anderson. I don't know what'll happen with Chandler Jones, but if anything, Anderson comes in and kind of fills in what they lost in Hassan Reddick. So Adam Anderson, super explosive, got great length. He's a monster coming from the outside, but yeah, I mean, you can make a case for Myjah Sanders here. I don't know. It's a really good edge class. A lot of edges might end up falling just because, well, people pass on edge knowing that it'll be good ones later on as well. So it'll be interesting. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. What do you want to say anything, Gojo? Oh, he just wants nice pets. Anyway, that's it for the video. Go ahead and do the YouTube thing. And until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later. You're such a cute doggy.